I couldn't find a more stellar heart that is in my realm, in my paradigm, to share this with my brothers and sisters across the planet, so we can restructure the ley lines and get everybody's chakras realigned and their energies and their, especially the heart, though, because if we're in the heart, we're not in conflict, and it's always good to be in the heart. Anyways, without further ado, I'm going to bring Sister Crystal in. She's going to share how she had this epiphany and this life-changing event. And I think it started with you. Same with it as it started with me, Crystal. It was like back in 2012, where I had this energetic shift, for lack of a better term. My heart came into this love vibration about 2.5 years ago, and it's gotten more intense as I've gone through these portals, because I'm dealing with all these different issues on the planet. But what I'm dealing with is, so I want to bring solutions, not the problems. I already know what the problems are, but I already know what the solutions are, and this is part of it. This is a holistic mind, body, spirit approach. And if we don't have our hearts right, then we're in conflict. If we're in conflict, nothing can move forward. It's a state of disarray. It's a state of dysfunction. The circuit is not running correctly when it's not in the right vibration. So this is where you come in, and you bring your voice. You bring this powerful, most beautiful spiritual voice from heaven. You got the voice. Crystal's got the voice from heaven, folks. If you haven't seen her 20-minute video, matter of fact, we are going to show that 20-minute video with Brother Viggy in a little bit. I have the link down at the bottom of his box, so my producer can play that when I give him the cue. He can be able to put that in real time, so the planet can get the benefit of bringing up the love vibration today. So, Crystal, without further ado, when and how did you come into being the Golden Goddess, and you got your calling?
Well, Peter, it's interesting that you mentioned 2012. 2012 was a very significant year for me. I basically had written before I started writing, not speaking or recording, being a recording artist, but I began before that to write stories about people who had been victimized by the legal system in the United States. Those stories were published in newspapers, and then I came out to California because I was on the East Coast. And in 2012, I felt a surge. It was a physical feeling that began probably in the summer. It was around summertime, maybe July and August, and I felt this huge surge of energy go through my body, and I felt like my body was on fire. Wow. It was as if someone had switched on the light or some current, and it went on for months. And together with that feeling, I began to write because I began to have more and more spiritual experiences. I've always been involved in meditation for many years and holistic things, but this was really major. And I began to feel the surge of energy inspire me to write. I felt like I should write what I was feeling, what I was experiencing. I began to have experiences of astral travel. Not that I hadn't had them before, but they were very, very frequent. And I began to realize that this was some sort of a transition into some other dimension. And I'm not exaggerating, because I would see things that I normally didn't see before. And I would experience huge surges of love coming through my heart. Very intense, powerful love, like a love that is so complete that nothing else can fit there. There's no room for anything else. It's really, and I felt very motivated to begin to write, and so I did. And then after writing, I thought, I should be recording this. I began to make videos, which I absolutely love to do. I love to make movies, and I love photography and all of that. And I began to post it then in YouTube and Facebook and other places, and people liked it. And so it's something that I can do just all the time and never get tired of it. I just never get tired of feeling that and just expressing that, because I feel that what we're lacking the most in life right now is our priorities are messed up. We don't have the right focus. right focus is love, and everything else falls into place after that.
Yep.
And we have it all wrong. We have it all wrong. We put, you know, achievement, money, rules, laws, everything else you can think of in front of love, and that is not the way. It causes complications and conflicts, and it really doesn't accomplish the goal. So it's a strange thing that when you begin to experience that love energy and it flows outward, you begin to get more what I want to call support of the environment, support of nature, because that is the ultimate law. It is the one supreme law, is love, because I think it's the glue that holds the universe together. So that's what happened to me in 2012.
There we go. You just unmuted me. That's good. Anyways, you know, I went through.
2012, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyways,
I began to express it through my voice. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time you were going through yours, I think there's a lot of other light workers on the planet going through their shift in 2012, because everybody I talked to that's a light worker, they all started seeing this this transition come on board. They knew that there was a change. You know, I knew in 2012, I says, you know, something's changed. You know what? I threw off the yoke of the pain, you know what I'm saying? And I got into the heart. You know, I knew I had to go into the heart. I had to find that gentle, soft spirit, you know, because without that, you're missing everything, because that's the nurturing part. We all need a little nurturing. We need the love. We need this vibration. And it's been getting intense ever since. So I get, it's all, you know, I get everything through the heart, because you know, what we're doing here, sharing the love vibration with the planet, we do it from the heart, you know, with good intent.
Yes, it has to come from the heart, because that's the most powerful force. If love is the most powerful force, then whatever you're doing is going to have the greatest effect when it's coming from the heart. And that's really not necessarily, it's just not what governs the world right now. It hasn't been that way. I think maybe other light workers like yourself, myself, have also experienced that there is a kind of shock that occurs when there's a surge of energy like this that runs through us and we're expressing what each of us is supposed to do. I think there is a reaction from the environment, because you're no longer following the priorities of the rest of the world, and that is seen as not only unusual, but threatening in a way. And I know that happens to other light workers too. We encounter opposition, criticism, and obstacles of all sorts. It seems like the higher you go, the greater the opposition sometimes, but it just gives you strength to continue. And right now, to be honest with you, I am so delighted to be on this channel, and so delighted that you've invited me, and so delighted to be talking to other people of like mind. I can't express how happy I am. It brings tears to my eyes. It really does. And I am so deeply grateful. And I certainly hope that people can hear what I've recorded and see my movies. I'm in the process of making more. I exude this energy that I began to express at that time in many different ways, not just my recordings, my YouTube channel, but also through my photography, I model. I do a lot of different things. I have a chat line to bring the vibration up, to express love to people. And most of all, many people come to me because they want to feel accepted. They want to feel love. They want to feel special. And they want to feel romance in their lives. They want to feel special as a man or a woman. And that is what I try to do it's something that happens automatically with me. So it's not like I just figured it out and set out to do it. It just started happening to me. And it was all based on these experiences. I have recorded these experiences into a sort of story, I think, where all of my videos are talking about my relationship, which is a sort of romantic relationship with a higher being or a higher spirit. And the higher spirit is sort of like a shapeshifter that expresses through many different forms, through many different life forms. It could be a cloud or a mountain, a man, a wolf spirit, or a seagull. In many of my writings and recordings, I talk about a wolf and I talk about a seagull, each one symbolizing different things. A seagull, the ability to transcend time and space, fly long distances, and it's a symbol of freedom for me. And the wolf, which is a symbol of brilliance and intelligence and cunning. It takes a wolf to survive in this world successfully, I think. And the wolf is a symbol of power, I think, in many different cultures. So all those characteristics, I think, belong to this being with whom I have a personal relationship. And to be quite honest with you, I guess what I'm really expressing is my relationship with God, who manifests in different ways. And God is really the real shapeshifter, because God manifests in everything throughout the universe. God is the universe. So that's what my writings are about. That's what I'm doing. And that's what my little movie is about. And I'm going to continue expressing this as long as I can, because frankly, it makes me very happy.
Well,
and in the process, I see people getting very happy over it. They just get very excited and happy, and it's just a very positive, uplifting energy, and it's a wonderful way of healing people on a mass scale without having to heal people individually, which is what I used to do before.
Well, it's amazing because healing can come through tone, through pitch, through vibration. And then, like I say, what did I tell you the first time I heard your voice? It was only a minute long. Then I contacted you. I said, you need to dub that for about an hour, because it was like just every neuron in my brain was just exploding because of this beautiful, sweet, spiritual, energetic love vibration, bouncing every neuron in my brain and saying, okay, hey, this is all about the love. And so I was really excited to, and it's funny, while I was watching your 20-minute video, I saw the wolf, and go figure, Hungry Like the Wolf. What's the name of that band that did that song? It was like Get Everything Through Music, because, oh God, I can't think of that. Anyways, they did a song called Hungry Like the Wolf. But that's and then, but I like the analogy that you use with the wolf and with the seagull. Anyways, it's ironic. I've been called a dog before, so that's close to a wolf. And then I've been called Goose because of my last name. And my friends always say, yeah, you're leading the pattern, flying us into where no man has gone before. They call me the head goose. Go figure. The goose that laid the golden egg. It's so I got these other star travelers in the house, and we get to share this this transitional shift. But it comes down if you're at war in your mind and you're not in your heart, you're in conflict. So this is where we're trying to bring you and mesh you with this planetary shift, because the shift is here. I mean, it's been going down for 2.5 years, and I can, it's the ley lines are being restructured, the energies are being restructured, everything's manifesting. We can manifest a new reality. We don't have to be stuck in dead man's land. So there's a lot of people waking up across the planet and figuring out that they gave over their power, but they're claiming their power back through the love vibration.
Yes, it's amazing. It's really coming together. I think that this channel must be so powerful. I don't know how long the channel has been airing, but it's amazing that there's so many people that you're pulling together to do this. You're a major player, Peter, and I'm really quite honored to meet you and to work with you. It's really an honor for me.
No, well, it's an honor on my part too. Like I say, none of us are above each other. We're all in this together. This is about aligning and bringing our energies. You know, it's funny because when I had Curtis on, he was calling me a 150-pound Peter because we were trying to make an analogy to the placenta. He was calling me a 150-pound Peter. And thank goodness my mom didn't name me Dick. You gotta love it. Hey, you gotta have a sense
one thing that you do have.
You gotta have a sense of humor.
You have an amazing sense of humor too, which I'm sure sends shockwaves throughout the world.
Some people don't get my humor. They think it's apropos, out of context. I really don't care what people think, sweetie. I got way past that when I was a child.
Oh, you're amazing. Like I said, you're like a tornado, and then on top of that, you have, this awesome sense of humor. I could listen to you for hours, but you have so many people you have to talk to that it's kind of hard. You should record yourself sometimes cracking jokes only. That will raise the vibration of the world. That would be great. Have your own YouTube channel with your jokes. It's just wonderful.
Well, hey, Chris,
Peter, tell us. Yes.
What's funny is a friend of mine, she actually made a list of Peterisms. I actually have a whole list of Peterisms from Privatis.Me and doing my blog talk over at I Am Free Will. One of my friends in central part of the country actually put together this list. I posted it a couple of times. Oh, yes. So the things Peter says, yeah, it's a classic. So we have all these Peterisms, and the book is not done being written yet, by the way. So, I say shit like they'll have a problem putting the poop back in the elephant after this gets out. Anyways, I use these different analogies. I get things, I want to have standing, talk about putting my footprint on a piece of paper so they know I'm in the here and now and alive again. So it's like I just see things differently than everybody else.
Yeah, it's Peter, you should tell the world. You should start off cracking jokes. You're going to open all the doors that you want to open. Believe me.
Yep.
That's kind of love vibration is humor,
Yeah.
There can't be humor if there is no love.
Right.
Really.
If you get them smiling, that's
anyway.
That smile will break through to the heart and make us a nice heart omelet. Where we got our energies. It's like making a nice etouffee or something like that. You put the heart into it. It's like anything you do in the heart. It always tastes better, feels better, whatever. If you could put some heart behind it. We don't have to be mad and bitter. See, when we're mad and anxious and frustrated and fear, you're not feeling the love. So, I try and go out of my way to find each day something I can do to make somebody smile somewhere.
Well, that's just by being, it brings me to another point about light workers like yourself, like me, like all the light workers that are on this channel, that all of these people, I think I've observed that these people, apart from myself, they see themselves that they have to do something significant. They feel compelled to do something, whether it's producing pure clothing or pure foods or pure medicine like yourself, or just pure sound that raises the consciousness like myself. They think of themselves as actors and doers. This is very interesting. Quality, all you're doing is as long as you are circulating in society, all the time you're actually exuding that energy. You're radiating. You're like a radiator. You're generating energy. And the fact that you're circulating throughout society, whether you go to the grocery store, you're talking on television or whatever, that love vibration is being brought out. And we think that we have to do something in order for the love vibration to come out. And that's true, but it's also true that just by milling around, just by circulating and talking to people, and maybe whatever it is, people come up to me, and strangers, complete strangers, and they ask me for a hug. They want to be held. They want me to hold them because they feel a sort of energy coming from me. And I do, because they feel so much better afterwards. It's so healing. And it's a strange thing because I never had that experience, particularly, before 2012. I think something did happen major at that time. And I think we're just all generators. We just walk around generating love energy. And that is also another aspect of us that I think we don't realize. I feel it from you just by talking to you, even if I'm not learning anything about how to make the medicine.
Yeah.
The same thing will happen to me where I'm walking around, let's say, a supermarket, and someone just comes up to me, or a parking lot, and they just come up to me and they want to be held. I just love you. I love you. They come up to me and say, I love you. I've never met them in my life. Never knew who they were or anything. But they come up to me like that. And it's because the world is starving for love.
Right, in the proper context.
Starving.
Yeah, let me digress on this. Yeah, it ain't about the damn sex, folks. It's about, that's the inverted part, because that's first and foremost in most people's minds, the sex part of the situation. But the chakras need to be realigned. It's all about vibration, pitch, and energy, about creating a nice, smooth, energetic shift between two parties. It has the sex is really it's actually like 10%. 90% is the vibration of the heart. So if you're in there, it's that radiates. It's funny because you can hug somebody for 20 seconds. If you hug somebody for 20 seconds, it neutralizes and helps the body go to ground, and the heart gets back realigned on its proper capacity because you're completing the circuit.
It's a clearing.
Yes.
It's a clearing. It's a clearing of negativity. That's exactly right. It's a vibration. And it manifests in many different ways. The sexual part is just one aspect of it. That's one. Certainly, that's because we have a human body. But naturally, that's definitely a strong vibration in our society. But it's also healing if it's in the proper context, in the proper way. And I believe that when they approach me, it's not because they're necessarily wanting sex with me or something like that. Do some help it. They just feel better. They just feel more grounded. I guess that's the word. Like they feel grounded, and there's a clearing that goes on. Somehow they feel more wanted and more loved and accepted for who they are. That's pretty consistent. That's the feedback that I get. That's pretty consistent because they feel like, oh, I'm worthy of being loved. I think we've grown up always to feel like we're unworthy of love. We have to work for it, and we have to, do all these things in order to merit caring and love and admiration and support. And that's not the case. The case is different. The reality is that you deserve love because you are. Because you are. That's it. There is no other need to prove yourself to anyone or any society, organization, or nation or whatever. It's not a matter of proving yourself. It's a matter of just simply accepting that you are a child of God or the goddess, and that you are worthy of being loved as you are. Period. No questions asked, no qualifications. I think you're right. Yeah, it is a general vibration, and it does express itself through sex as well.
Yeah, but let's talk about energetic shifting, because like I said, I do power walks, and I'm on the street, so I get to intersperse in my spirit energetically with other people I run across. I'm always looking for eye contact. I'm always looking to give somebody a genuine smile. See, because people aren't used to that. They're so busy texting on their phones as they go by. But the ones that aren't, I always look for eye contact. If I'm walking, like when I was up in Washington State, I go walk through the park every morning. And everybody that I went by, I gave a nice big smile and a good morning. And I wanted them to feel some positive energy to start their day. And it was meant. It wasn't plastic. It wasn't false. It was where my heart really was feeling the love. And this is the way I can bring it forward, even if it is just a minor little thing, just interspersing, walking and talking. Well, even when I was back in Virginia, I used to make up chicken wings and make up a 10-pound bag, and then I'd go bring plates to the neighbors and stuff. You know, just these little kind acts and deeds. See, that's part of you're getting out of yourself and doing something different. So, you know, if somebody's hurting, what can you do to maybe take the edge off? See, we got to get out of we got to go through introspection and look within ourselves, but we also have to share this vibration, this energy. Otherwise, how do you bring the vibration of the planet up if we're not sharing the love?
Well, you're a very, very, very intense man, so I would suspect that when you do these things, they have a lot of power individually. So that might be something that's, I would say, quite admirable, because not everybody has that energy. They may have love vibrations, but you're very intense. And I think when you do express yourself in these little acts, it must be very, very powerful and gratifying to the recipient.
Yeah.
I know that when I'm in my goddess energy, which is myself, I don't have to do anything. It's not what I do. It's what I am. I'm a generator.
Yeah.
And you're a generator. And we're doing all these things, you know, in different ways, in different areas, medicine or clothing or food or romantic videos like myself, movies, modeling. No, it's voice. It's that the energy has to come through all the time in everything that you do. I think that's something that brings me to a point that I think that light workers need to understand, that it is more than just what you do, it's what you are. You have to recognize it. And then you have to understand that everybody has a different love vibration.
Yeah.
It vibrates. The love vibration is different, and some people are more intense, some people are more mellow. I tend to have a very strong energy, but I express it very softly. My voice recordings are very soft.
Yeah.
And people need to turn up the volume. But some of the things that I realize have a lot of power are things that people need the most. They do need physical help, like what you're doing. They need to heal their bodies. Before, I used to do healings, spiritual healings, and I did them in different ways. I'm an astrologer, psychic, mostly Vedic astrology, and I understand a lot of that body of knowledge, and I've been in it for many, many years. Now it just really is myself. But I felt that I couldn't reach that many people, because how many people can I help on a one-to-one basis? You know, and during one lifetime, you can't reach all these people that you want to reach.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like what I do in all these other portals. Yeah, I can't do everything, but I can open the door and then multiply that out based upon the fundamental contacts I get, and that's how it's literally like cloning yourself. Once you figure something out and you share it, it's sort of like, I sent out this link on how to make the paste, which is medicine, and it works extremely efficiently. It's cannabis paste, and had brother on the call, my second call, who makes the paste, and he helps out cancer patients and stuff like that. So see, that's a love vibration within itself. On the medical side, because we have a heart for our brothers and sisters who are dying from this damn cancer lie, because there's alternatives that Big Pharma, FDA, and all these clowns won't cover. They won't talk about the truth. They just they're all about the money. So there's no love in the system. White coat medicine, and I'm not saying all doctors are bad. I'm just saying Most of them are conflicted. Most of them have big loans to pay off, so they lost their way, and they poison their brothers and sisters with chemicals. If they actually read the damn physician's death reference, it's called a PDR, and read what was in all them damn poisons, they wouldn't be giving them to anybody. But they don't read because they've been programmed for 8 years on how to put people into portals, and they never fix the issue. They never treat the mind, body, spirit. They're just treating with chemicals, and chemicals never fix anything. But the irony is, for those like in the land of oncology, 90% of most oncologists know damn well they wouldn't use the same protocols on themselves, and they don't. What's wrong with this picture? I mean, how do they look at themselves in the mirror in the morning when they know they're going to go nuke Johnny at 5 a.m. with some radiation, which destroys every DNA cell in your damn body? It breaks the machine. This is barbaric what they're doing. And so, through love, alternative medicines, alternative nutrition, we can fix everything on the planet. Everything can be inverted, Crystal.
Yes, it's like the people who can bring a healthier life are sold out or imprisoned by a system that doesn't allow them the freedom to truly heal.
Right.
This is what you're saying.
And then they're bucking the tide. Usually
they're trapped.
Usually their family members are in the same paradigm. So guess what? Now you're bucking. It's everybody's eating McDonald's and Twinkies and box, endocrine disrupting canned food goods from Walmart and whatever. So if the whole family's eating the same crap, they're all in the same bad vibration because the energies have been skewed by the chemical toxifications of the body. See, so you can't separate mind, body, and spirit. It is all one. It's you got to take care of this machine. But if the brain is blocked because of the fluoride buildup, and they're taking the shots, and they're you got the chemtrails, you got all these other things. We got to remove all that aluminum buildup in the brain, and there's alternatives to do that. So we got to bring the physical machine back online. But if you're feeding the machine poison, then you're not feeling anything. I mean, look at the medications, Crystal, like Prozac. 94% of that pill is poison, literal poison. It's fluoride. Prozac, 94%. What? No wonder people have suicidal ideations, because it just puts the brain to bed. It you become totally, sort of like that song, comfortably numb, and your brain isn't thinking right. So how do we get the heart alive if the body's dead? So we got to find a way to revive the body. So that's why I got to talk about these alternatives with mind, body, spirit, which I've created over at Privatis.Me. We got free links on the alternatives. I got a 20-minute video called the free tour over at Privatis.me. Everybody needs to go watch that, and then I give them free links on about food grade hydrogen peroxide, magnesium, which everybody's deficient on, Celtic salt, which removes all the aluminum buildup in the brain. See, so I know the alternatives that fix the physical incapacity to come back and right itself. But that's half the battle, is because of the fluoride, the chemtrails, the shots, and all this other stuff. Most people's machines are not working correct, so no wonder they have no love in their heart, because they're physically dead.
Yes, and the thing that I think that you're challenged with here is what I've seen of that you are out there offering this to the public, and yet the public knows deep down, I think, that you're saying something they need to hear about, medicines and the way that doctors operate and the whole system, the way it's been toxic to the population. And yet they're afraid to step out. They're afraid to break out of that mold.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting thing. One time I was, I went to a grocery store. I went to the ladies' room, and I was just washing my hands, and this lady came up to me. I don't know why. I guess for the same reason that other people walk up to me and talk to me and stuff. But she says, hi. She says, I'm so-and-so, and I've got colon cancer, and I've had operations, and now I have to go back in, and blah, blah, blah. I just really believe in my doctors. I think they can heal me and so forth. And I said, well, there are new things that can help you and reverse the process of disease and aging. And the minute I said that, and I said these are holistic approaches that are not known to the general medical population, anyway. So she reacted right away, and she says, "Oh, really?" And then she stopped herself and she says, "Oh, but I think my doctors can help me." She was so afraid to try. Yeah, she had fear of stepping outside of that bubble, out of that prison, to become free. And that is the biggest problem, I think, is that on top of being imprisoned in this system, there is also the fear of breaking out of that system, out of that mindset.
Yeah.
And that is a huge, huge challenge. And then she walked out because she had to go somewhere, and my heart sank because I thought I would tell her so many things about you and everything that you do, but she was not willing to listen to anything holistic, anything different, or to try anything different, because she thought something bad would happen to her. But yet, what's weird?
Yeah, the bad is already happening. The bad is already happening.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But what's weird is that she knows that everything that her doctors have done so far hasn't worked. Nothing has worked. The operations didn't work. The chemotherapy didn't work. All that stuff that I think they did, radiation, nothing worked for that woman. And then now she's got it again, and she's going to go through it again. And she's convinced it's going to cure her. It's the same thing that they did before. It didn't work. Now she wants to try it again. And nothing else. And I'm going like, well, excuse me, ma'am, but if it didn't work, why are you going back? Why are you afraid to break away? That fear, I don't know whether that's just because they've been into that frame of mind for so long that anything else is scary to them.
It's foreign.
Or whether they just, I don't understand how they can think that way. But they do.
I know. Well,
it's tragic.
You know how many people they've been sent home to die. I go and share the love with them and bring protocols with them that could possibly bring them back from the dead. Well, I don't think my doctor would approve that. I said, well, let me ask you something. So I guess you're going to let them approve you going to the freaking boneyard then, huh?
Boneyard.
You got to love it. I mean, in the face of overwhelming evidence, they couldn't get it right. Now you're going to go die. You're not even willing to look at the other side of the coin, and your bad decision is going to cost you your life.
Yes, the bad decisions will. And you know, when I told her that, I said, well, are you sure you want to try the same routine again? I don't think that any of these other alternative methods would conflict. Particularly, they would just be something you can at least try. She was not even willing to give it a try. And that is, it's just appalling to me. It's what causes them to have the fear of breaking away after they know, after knowing that what they have done in the past does not work? Maybe you can answer that, Peter, because I don't get it. I don't understand.
People will actually embrace and some people actually embrace martyrdom. I mean, take a look at all the old folks when they get together around a coffee clutch. They're talking about Joe's got his prostate cancer acting up again. I mean, it's like the disease of the day club, and they're friggin' busy comparing notes, and they like that because they're getting attention for their disease. And so if they fix their disease, they're not going to get any attention. That's the only thing I can think of that allows people to actually embrace the disease they have instead of fixing it and creating a solution. I wouldn't have nothing to talk about if I wasn't the martyr.
So it's a sort of sick way, a perverted way of getting attention, which is a form of love.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they're getting their love. Anyways,
It's a toxic way of getting love. Wow. Yes. And so they continue with their martyrdom and their diseases without solutions, because that means they get attention indefinitely from all these doctors or whoever's fussing around with all this mess.
yeah.
Until they finally die, of course, and there's no more attention.
Yeah. Well,
then the ride's over.
Yeah, right. Well, people embrace. Well, let's take a look at the construct of people who actually believe in the patriotism and all this other stuff across the planet. They got duped. They got lied to under the guise of patriotism. But every war that we've been in has been a banker's war. If there wasn't no profit side of it, we wouldn't be in these other countries in the first place. And it's not about protecting the United States. It's about stealing the resources of these other countries, because they want them to come in out of the rain under the IMF auspices for the control mechanism. However, the BRICS has sort of wrecked their playhouse. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. The IMF is having fits. Well, because everybody's controlled from this construct from the top on down, from birth on, and they didn't know that they were literally binded up in living in the land of the dead. They didn't know that they were supposed to come back to the other side and look to themselves. See, we've gone through multiple generations of people subscribing. So Crystal, it comes down to this. Let's take a look at the history of the last 5 generations. Everybody's gone and got their driver's license. That's their permission slip, the registration of the birth, the social security numbers, all this stuff. That's because we got 5 generations who never questioned anything, and they didn't know how to look in themselves. And if you're looking to Caesar for a benefits and privilege, then he can control the flow, because benefits and privileges gets dictated. You have no rights.
Yeah, it's just it's like a built-in, I don't know what to call it. It's like a built-in defeat.
Yeah.
It's just programmed for defeat. It's all programmed for death and defeat. This movement has to destroy. You destroy negativity with love. This all reminds me of something that I remember as a child when I was brought up in a very strict Protestant home. Mm-hmm. And I did go to Sunday school, and I went to this Protestant Presbyterian school, elementary school. And I was just, how would I say, I was totally, completely overwhelmed by their thinking. I remember rebelling when I was a child because I couldn't understand all the strictness, but there were some things that did sink in that I thought were positive. And one of those things was that I remember reading the Bible, something that made an impression on me. The whole lesson, I think, was that when you have love, you have friendship. When you have friendship, there is no enemy. So the most powerful weapon to destroy negativity and enemies is love, because you turn the enemy into a friend.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. And I don't think the system is geared towards creating dissidence and conflict and rejecting things that are new or progressive. And I don't know how you deal with that when you run into people who need the help and they're interested and curious, but they're too scared to try it out. What do you do?
I let them go. Have a great day. They're going to go bump their head some more. They got some more speed bumps to go over. They got some more pain to suffer. See, everybody has a different pain threshold. And some people's pain threshold it's real high, even in the face of denial. Even the irrevocable proof, you can show them, look at this isn't working, but you're continuing down the same path. You got to change course. You know, it's all about free will. And people, for most, the programming has been so effective, they don't even know how to get out of their own way to save themselves.
I guess, so what you do is you simply walk away and let them experience the sadness, the sad fate that they are going to meet. Because, you know, just like that woman who walked away, I knew when she walked out of the bathroom, you know, what hope is there for a person like that?
Yeah, there isn't. She just went back down.
She didn't allow herself to have hope.
No, she's a good martyr. She's a good martyr. Anyways, yeah,
she's a good martyr.
Everybody, you know, we all have free will. You know, go figure. We all have a choice to make. You know, it's like what we put in our bodies, what we eat. You know, I can go get a McDonald's quickie burger, but it's garbage. It's poison. It has absolutely no nutritional value whatsoever. Or I could go get some kale and some hummus and some guacamole and make me up something all natural that will actually feed sustenance to my body and allow it to run much more efficiently with no blocks and impediments from chemical synthesis. I don't eat canned goods. I don't eat the poisons. I get organic trail mix and organic bananas, and I cook in coconut oil because it changes up it brings all the lauric acid into the brain. So I actually let the brain start working properly. Go figure, coconut oil fixes Alzheimer's and dementia. But that's a cheap fix, and Big Pharma doesn't want me talking about that. So it's exactly what I talk about. I'm going to share the love. That's how I share the love.
So you just offer it, present it, and then whoever is receptive will go forward, and whoever isn't, you just simply let them experience, walk away and let them experience whatever they have to experience in order to learn their lessons, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, they made a free choice.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's come back to your, I'd like you to give a little explanation on your 20-minute video that I'd like to have Biggie play through. If it's all right with him, I got the Biggie, I got the link in your box over at your Skype. I posted it about 3 hours ago, and then I don't know if you can make it happen, but Crystal's just going to segue into it, and I don't know, let's see if that would be doable for us, for the world to see this beautiful work called The Passion that Sister Crystal is bringing forward to the planet.
Well, you want me to talk about the movie or the trailer or both?
I just want you to segue to the 20-minute video that you created, and we're gonna go ahead and I think play that for 20 minutes through. So it's taped on this call, so that for the world to see it, so they can see what Sister Crystal's doing to change the heart of my planet.
If your producer can play the trailer is a good introduction to the movie.
So get on the page. I didn't say trailer. I just said the 20-minute video. I just talked to Biggie, and it's no problem. So segue. He'll play the whole 20-minute video that I stuck in his box, so they can run it in real time here on CCN for the world to see.
I think that's awesome.
So, when did you create this? And then I'm going to we're going to segue right into this beautiful 20-minute video for the world to see on this beautiful work to change the paradigm shift of the planet by bringing up the love vibration. There's actually some good heart workers, and you're one of them. So I just want you to segue for a second.
I wanted to tell the public, I think, about this movie. This movie is based on real life experiences. When I'm talking about spiritual experiences of a mystical love or love affair between myself in real life and what I think is a deity, the supreme male energy of the universe, because the supreme energy is both male and female, then I think people will understand that this is a normal evolution of the heart. When people are going into higher states of consciousness, we have three basic states of consciousness: waking, dreaming, and sleeping. And the first level of enlightenment is called cosmic consciousness.
Yeah.
The second level of enlightenment above that is called God consciousness. And the third one above that is called unity. And of course, there's refinements after that. But God consciousness is, I think, a way of expressing what is in that video. The video is talking about finding God in all things, in particular things in nature, spirits, and of course, people. In my case, it would be an ideal man or an ideal person. In your case, it would be a woman, or if you're gay, then you would be of the same sex. But basically, you have an experience of repeated God consciousness experiences developing into the establishment of God consciousness, the heart chakra opening up.
Yeah.
In cosmic consciousness, you realize that you are that supreme being, and so you are not really your body, you're not your soul, you are that supreme being, and you're witnessing everything. In God consciousness, you begin to see that supreme being in everything, including your own body, including other people, including birds and wolves and mountains and the sky and the clouds, everything, the universe, everything. So this video is about basically my love affair with a supreme being who manifests in so many different ways. But it's a real life experience. So I think when people see it, they will respond differently. Some people respond by saying, oh, this is a very romantic thing. And they start thinking about their boyfriends or girlfriends or lovers or whatever.
Right.
And some people will just simply experience a kind of calming down. There are people who listen to what I record, and I perform live too, because it calms them down. It makes them feel grounded, and some people even fall asleep because it relaxes them so much.
Yeah.
And that is just the nature of the love vibration. It's soothing. It's relaxing.
Yeah.
So I certainly hope that the public enjoys my video. The video was the sound recording began. It was made when I gave my first public show in November, and then I used that as the background sound for the photography in the video, so that it could create a movie. It creates a movie. It's not possible to necessarily film something with sound and then have it overlap with the background sound, because you would be muffling the recording, which is, as you say, it's significant. The voice is conveys the love vibration, and that's a lot of the effect. The rest of it is simply the visual imagery that is formed as you watch the video. And it was finished very recently, but I certainly hope that people enjoy that, and I do intend to create a lot more of these. I have a very good time making movies. I just love making movies and recording and modeling and all that. So for me, this is not work. For me, this happiness. It's like I'm like a little girl playing with her Barbie doll. I'm always in this totally blissful state, and I certainly hope that spills over.
Yeah. Well, Biggie can segue into this 20-minute video. It's 20 minutes, 35 seconds, folks. I want you to enjoy the ride. Sister Crystal has done some great work. It's a beautiful compendium of work. Anyways, Brother Biggie's going to play that right now. So I guess my face will go blank, and it's going to segue.
Pour your passion into me. Invade and capture all of me until, my love, I cannot see whether this love is you or me. Pour your passion into me. Flood your love inside of me. Capture every part of me until I drown in ecstasy. You came to me so unexpectedly. You conquered me so suddenly. Without a word, you walked inside. So there was nowhere left where I could hide. I felt your love. I felt your heart surrendering to me without a doubt. You knew that I would never hesitate to take the road towards both our fates. But what man could I want? What spirit above? For no man compares with your passion and love. You knew you could take, invade, and devour. You knew I would kneel before you till my last breathing hour. Oh, the roads we must take, the prices we pay, just to be together, for there is no other. But despite the blocks, despite the pain, love will find a way. We shall find our way to be together in eternity, together as one in unity. Whenever we speak, whenever we love, we shall not even know if it's you or me. Pour your passion into me. Invade and capture all of me until, my love, we cannot see whether this love is you or me. Pour your passion into me. Flood your love inside of me. Capture every part of me until I drown in ecstasy. Until I drown in ecstasy. You're lonely. You're lonely now. You're surrounded by those who follow you, grateful to receive even the smallest crumbs that may fall from your table. You feel alone. Who will understand the winding pathways of your thoughts, the direction of your soul, and the purpose of your life. Who will allow you the freedom to fly, yet remain by your side, patiently awaiting your loving caress. Although I am only an abstraction to you now, somehow you anxiously sense that I exist. A time will come when you will hold me, confident that I will always be there, gently cradling your life in my hands, confident that a universe of devotion created just for you is finally in your arms. I can feel you. I can feel the warmth of your throat. I can dive into your mind. I can even see your dreams. I can feel the beating of your heart. You yearn for me. Even though you're so far away, even though you haven't even met me yet, I can feel you. Slowly, very slowly, I feel swept away by a force greater than 1,000 waves strong. You truly are a tidal wave. You flood my every cell, every breath of my life. I find myself surrounded by your waters, and I feel your demand for my surrender to your passion, your desire, your love. You pull me towards the center of your being, towards your decisive body and your throbbing heart. I find myself unable to resist or stay afloat, unable to remember who I am, impervious to my surroundings, and regrettably forgetting all those who are so expecting of me. Like a tidal wave, you wash over me until I finally drown in your waters, immersed in you, deep within your ocean. I drown in infinite bliss. Do you travel in your dreams? Do you fly while you're asleep? Are you the one embracing me, awakening me to your caress at night? Are you the one who strokes me till your heart's content, until you fully satisfy your masculine delight? I can feel you softly breathing on my lips. I feel your throat and hear you whispering to me, comforting me. I've wondered if and when you'll land one day from traveling in your dreams, mercifully appearing so I might finally touch your face. In my desire to know you, I even stepped into your world, just oh so close to you, and startled, I spoke out in my surprise, awakening you to my success in actually visibly appearing in your waking world. You heard me, and you looked at me with piercing eyes, and realized that I had broken through your waking state. Still, I remained only faintly visible to you, like an angel shimmering in the distance. But we are almost there, my love, where time and space will know no bounds and never pose a threat, where worldwide distance fades into empty vacuum space, where you can touch me anytime in waking hours in any way you wish, without the need for dreams of any kind. A time must come for us when our dream travels fade and our complete and be with you. I will embrace the travels in your dreams of me in waking state. Tell me, do you travel in your dreams? Do you fly while you're asleep? Are you the one embracing me, awakening me to your caress at night? Are you the one who strokes me till your heart's content, until you fully satisfy your masculine delight? Return again and fly into my world, dream traveler. Return again and land inside of me. Return again and touch my soul. Return, invading me completely. That way, dream traveler, I know I can be one with you, because I'm always just a fragile dream away from you. I can hear your jealous heart. You wonder who is touching me, seducing me, who speaks to my mind, entices my senses, who can replace you. You are so territorial, like a tiger. You boldly drive away every invasive male to stake out your territory. Like a lone gray wolf, you arrogantly mark miles of my life as your private domain, never considering if I, in my loneliness, might need someone to comfort me in the glaring, painful vacuum of your absence. Territorial, I am your prey. You stalk me, and I can feel your hands gently caressing me. Your shadow haunting me, your thoughts surrounding me. Everywhere I go, I sense and know that you are there. We have not met yet, but I can still hear your pounding, aching, jealous heart. One day when you appear, hopelessly trapped for so long in your possessive love, I will be the one to touch and hold your jealous heart, finally making you my free.
Welcome back, and Sister Crystal's going to give a little overview on what you just saw, that beautiful 20-minute compendium of work she did, and put a lot of time and energy into bringing that vibration. Anyway, she shared them a little bit, which you already did, Crystal, on where you were coming from, like the wolf and the dove and all this, and how this brings us into a nicer vibration to bring the love vibration up.
Well, all of this sound began in my heart and into my mind, and then I wrote it down, and it was a strange thing because I wanted to record it. I've never really been like a singer or public speaker, although I have done some of that, but not seriously. And I began to record it and showing it to my friends. And, well, listen to this. And some people would say, oh, this is making me fall asleep. This is great. You know, make a longer one. Please make a longer one. Because I'm so tired and I can't really fall asleep at night. And this will be perfect. I had one client, and she's a friend of mine, actually, and she's a TV hostess in Boston. And she goes through a lot of stress because of her work, her job, and she told me to please make 20-minute recordings just for her. She liked the nature sounds because I use nature sound in the background. I'm going to be making some that have more, it's going to be more like singing or chanting. So it's different work that I'm planning on. But she wanted a 20-minute one. Now I can send it to her.
Right.
Because she said she fell asleep with it. She falls asleep with it.
Beautiful.
And another lady, and then I uploaded to Facebook, and this lady, and YouTube, and this lady said, well, you know, I've got this little boy, and he's hyperactive, and I don't want to give him medications, you know, to calm him down. He's hyperactive. And, but he listens to your videos, your voice, and he calms down. He's addicted to the sound. Well, I think it's because instead of chemicals, we're giving him the love vibration.
Yeah.
That's how powerful this is, that it's an actual substitute for medication for hyperactive children.
Yeah.
And I was blown away because I just thought, well, people will probably like it. Another fan told me that it's kind of like a meditation because it's very calming and soothing. So he felt like he was slowly calming down. And his profession is very high stress. He's a lawyer and always going to court and involved in, you know, all these different disputes. So for him, he said he could just listen to it forever because it was like a meditation. And then some other people have different reactions. You know, some of my friends say that it puts them in a romantic state. Of course, because I'm talking about romance and love. And quite frankly, a lot of the imagery is physical. The imagery is not just, well, you know, I transcended and I saw you. No, it's more like, okay, I'll say things like, pour your passion into me. Pour your passion into me. Flood your love inside of me. Why? Because I feel spirit invading all of it. So it's like a complete bath. You know, you're bathing in love and the essence of love. So it's physical imagery. It's almost, sometimes almost sexual. I guess I could say that. I have another recording that I'm going to prepare for a show that I'm giving in March, and that is, it starts off with, I swallow you. I swallow you, meaning I take you inside of me. I swallow you, and your love fertilizes my soul. That's imagery that is physical, but yet I'm talking to spirit because spirit invades all of me and enlivens me. love is actually life energy.
Right.
Some people don't understand that. They think that it's luxury in life. You know, well, if I have time, I'll love someone or be loved or whatever. That's kind of like an additional thing, kind of like a side order of French fries, you know. It's like that. It's not that at all. You don't have that love energy. Think how many times you lived in your life, how many days you had in which you felt totally depressed. Sometimes you didn't even know why you were depressed, or you were just kind of low energy or whatever. Why? Because you're missing that love energy. What if someone calls you up and says, you know, Peter, you're great. You make me laugh so hard the other day. Your show, you're awesome. You've got the greatest sense of humor. I've got to compile this. I'm going to market this for you and raise the vibration by making people laugh. And you're going to feel so good because you are being loved and appreciated.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. A sentence. You know, just like me. You know, I walk around, go to the parking lot where somebody walks up to me and says, I want a hug. I mean, a lot of them are people that you would never expect would need love and attention, but they do. Everybody does from all walks of life, all ages, all countries, all races, everybody.
Yep.
And so then I just give him a hug, and he's like, the person is just like in seventh heaven. They're just in paradise. Why? Because there was a clearing of whatever negativity they were feeling, and there was a feeling of being loved and accepted for who they are. And that's all it takes. It takes, what, 15 seconds?
Yep.
Think of how much time and money it takes to make Prozac on a mass scale, or all these other chemicals, whatever, antidepressants and mood enhancers and whatever. And how little it takes to raise the love vibration and give somebody a drop of love, just a 15-second drop of love.
Yep.
And it changes their whole day, their whole disposition. They feel like, oh, they're in heaven. And it's just so uplifting. I mean, it has long-term effects because after that, you feel, for days after, you'll remember that experience.
Yep.
You take a Prozac, and then the effect wears off. Then you have to take another one. You have to take another one. And this, you know, I'm sure the same person I gave the hug to 2 months ago probably remembers that.
Yep.
I know that I do. I remember people telling me positive things. It comes back like a little tape in your head, you know. Look, you're great, you're wonderful, you're worthy of being loved. You are a worthy human being, no matter what anybody tells you. I don't care if you've done things that are not approved of by the society, or they're whatever weird constructs we have in the brain. You are a worthy, lovable person. That must be the cure for so many diseases. Now, if we can get people to begin to heal the various things that they've developed, like cancer and whatever, I'm sure you're barraged with all kinds of calls from people that have illnesses of different kinds. What kind of an impact that would have, where on an emotional and psychological level, they have love energy pouring into them, and then good, healthy medicine curing them, pouring into them. What's going to happen? That's awesome.
Yes. It's
Anybody who does any of the light workers, all of your friends who come on this beautiful channel that you're on and bring in all this wonderful stuff that they're doing, all these light workers, they come in, you're going to just see a total change on the planet. Really huge. And I think everyone who is a light worker is a very brave soul, because it's very hard to be a light worker.
Yep.
Very, very, very hard. It is not just your own personal obstacles because you're out of the norm, but also, you know, there's people who don't want change. You don't want change. I guess you feel like you're right, secure in their martyrdom, and they're secure in their suffering. How can you be secure if you're suffering?
Well,
that's what they are.
Crystal, it's sort of like an old, comfortable pair of shoes. They don't want to discard them, even though they're broken down. They don't work anymore. They don't support the arches, but because you're sort of binded to them out of how do you put being comfortable in that realm with I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's hard to change lanes when you're comfortable with where you're at. So people don't like to get uncomfortable. So because getting uncomfortable requires you to stretch your wings, to branch out, to go inside oneself, to
break away.
We'll work a little bit harder to remove the chains that bind, so that you can operate unencumbered in the right spirit. It's because the energy vampires would rather you not be in the love vibration, because misery likes company. So, but like I said, that comfortable pair of shoes analogy. Most people, they don't want to throw away those sneakers, even though they're wore out, but they were comfortable. So don't make me uncomfortable by doing something different or whatever. Or now I gotta go buy a new pair or whatever. Yeah, people like familiar.
Change.
You know what they say? You know what they say? Familiarity breeds contempt. There you go. I like that saying, because it's what they're familiar with their entire life. So anything other that's not the norm, their cognitive dissonance doesn't want to go there, because that will require a lot of extra work to take responsibility.
Well, that is a frightening thing.
Yeah.
That is a very frightening thing, because it means their lives, their actual health and lives and longevity. It's not just a matter of choice, it's something that impacts their existence. That's what's so tragic about that. But the only thing I think I have an advantage, frankly, in the sense that, unlike before, I was healing, I was doing different rituals, and I was prescribing gemstones and doing astrology charts and counseling, all kinds of stuff that I had trained for. And I felt like I wasn't really getting that far that fast, because it was on a one-to-one basis. No, in my case, if I am able to reach a lot of people through media, because it's so fast, that's the advantage of what I have. I don't have to create something physical as much. I don't have to create an article of clothing or something like that. All I have to do is speak, record, photograph. I do talk to people, chat lines, stuff like that. They're always asking for that. Always want the chat line.
Yeah.
And if I'm able to do that, then I have so many people I can reach. And so many people get affected that way just by listening or viewing. They don't even have to lift a finger. All they have to do is watch it or listen to it, or just listen to me talk. Sometimes I'm talking to them because they want somebody to talk to them, or they're feeling bad or whatever. They just listen. And then I just kind of tune in, and then they're happy. They're happy. One man told me, I was pumping gas at the gas station, and I walked in, and he was one of the people who told me he wanted me a hug. He was just a young student from Afghanistan, and he thought that I had some kind of unusual energy, and he said, well, you've got some really nice energy, I see a lot of people that come in to buy gas and buy stuff, and I really like it, and what do you do? So I explained everything, and I showed him a YouTube channel, and he came up to me, and he just hugged me. He didn't even ask, he just hugged me. He held me for a while, and I held him back because I felt he needed that love, that comfort. And then he said to me that the most important thing that I've heard in a long time, he said to me, you have to be golden goddess crystal all the time. was almost like a message, you know, like you get your memos. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was a message from the universe. You have to be rolling out a crystal all the time. What he was saying was you have to radiate the love energy, the love vibration all the time, not just part-time, not just when I'm coming out on TV or performing on stage or something like that. I have to live that 24 hours a day. Why? Because I realized later on, because light workers are generators of light and love. And when you shut the switch off, you're not generating that anymore, and you're not affecting other people. You're not raising the vibration consistently. It's something that I'm getting used to, and sometimes it's uncomfortable because some people don't like the raising of the vibration. Like you said, they're comfortable in their old pair of sneakers.
Yep.
And they don't want change. They don't want change. They don't want something else to take the place of this constant misery that they're in. And I'm assuming that they are. Not that they don't have happy moments, but, you know, being sick like that woman was, you know, with all that radiation and stuff, I just can't understand it. But
Well,
like you say, I mean, people are comfortable that way. So.
Yeah, a lot of times people actually thrive in their own pain, that dysfunction, because it's been a comfortable cycle, and I've seen it. I've seen people raised in dysfunctional environments and stuff like that, and they almost their idea of peace is actually turbulence. It's they're comfortable with the how do you put the disarray in their life because it's been that way their entire life. So that's all they know. So that's to change that, they would have to give up that negative energy and maybe redirect it to positive, and they're not quite ready to do that yet.
Well, not only that, but don't forget that they're surrounded by people who influence them, whether in their jobs or families or friends or whatever. And when they start to break away from that mold, they will also or feel fear that they will upset those around them. And they'll get more flack, shall we say, obstacles and problems because they're changing. They don't want to change because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to rock the boat.
I love to rock. That's my job. I love to rock the boat.
I know you do.
I was a sailor.
I know.
Sailor at sea. This boat's a rocking. Don't come a knocking. You know what? Let's get this sucker going. I mean, it's like my function isn't to create disarray. It's to create continuity and truth, direction of flow, energetic shifting, getting up into this right vibration, not being in anger, bringing forth hope, truth, and solutions to the planet by looking inside themselves and finding out who they really are. And it's good to be in a love vibration. It's good to bring this energy forward. This is the only way we're going to change this planet because the ugly side of this equation is the war on for the mind, which most people are stuck in.
Yeah, and I just hope that perhaps through the impetus and the power of different light workers like yourself and myself, working together and pulling together to raise a vibration will create a huge surge of energy that will shift that negative, what would I call it? I don't know, stagnation.
Right.
And shake it out of existence, because if we don't, we're going to be, as a human race, very, very, very bad shape. Yep. We already are. So it's now, and I'm just grateful to the Creator for giving me an opportunity to express myself and giving me the tools that I didn't think I had. Honestly, I had no idea that I could do anything but maybe write short stories and poetry or something like that. I never knew that I could create an influence for certain people to break out of their negative mold.
Right.
To the extent that they have told me anyway. there are many things that I did anticipate developing, and it's kind of developing by itself. So I'm grateful for that, because that means that I don't have to work as hard as I used to do healing.
Right.
It's easier for me, you know, and it's like, it's not such a burden, and I feel like I can do fun things too. I'm not just worried about their problems. It's like, you can't analyze their problems and picture them and fix them. No, you have to. It's kind of like a dark room. You walk into a dark room. If you want light in the room, you just introduce light. You don't fight the darkness.
Right.
You just turn on light. And so for me, this is like turning on the light. And I'm just starting, really. Because I'm learning what people are responding to and what they need from me.
Right.
Like my fans or followers or friends, and they'll tell me, oh, I really like this, or I really like that. And, you know, they kind of give you the feedback that you need, that I need at least, to develop things further, so that the love energy can be expressed in those ways that I know will reach them, because they want that kind of vibration. And the love vibration, like I said, has so many different forms. Like I know that in my work, I can do it through recording. Right now, I don't have my recording voice on, as you can tell, and it's my speaking voice. But my recording voice is different. So I could do it through sound, or I can do it through photography, or I could do it through just listening to people or talking to them. There's so many different ways. Modeling is another way too, because I have some photos where they're kind of almost like spiritual fantasies. Those will be coming out in some albums too. And people just love that, because it puts them in a totally different space. Psychologically and mentally. They feel like they're traveling out of the world of limitations, restrictions, and pain, you know? They actually can breathe and be happy and excited. And that to me is very encouraging. And I just hope it develops more. And I think you're probably going to have the same kind of feedback from the people that you reach. They'll probably tell you, you know, Peter, it would be great if you could do this or that, or do that, and create this other thing, and we need more of this from you. You know, people will tell you, Peter, we love your humor. we have to have your humor, you know.
Well, hey, you open the door, so I got to go here. I've been thinking the thoughts, but, you know, I'm not the shy, quiet type, never have been. The upside is, you know, I tell people, like my blog talk show, I tell people it's going to be a fast ride, and a lot of people need to put their floaties on because they're going to drown, because I always go to the deep end of the pool. The upside is this. If I go swimming with Crystal, I don't even need to bring my own damn floaties, because she's already got that covered.
You're funny.
I had to bring the game.
Blunt. You're very blunt. I like the bluntness. Yeah.
Well,
I don't have that kind of personality, but you do.
Hey, if I
you've got to bring that out more, because it's so cute, adorable for you to just. You're just so blunt. Of course, they're going to laugh. It's a way of breaking the ice. You know? People who are scared, you start cracking jokes, they'll listen to you.
You know what, Crystal? I'm different than the rest of the world. I can think it and actually say it, whereas the rest will think it, but they don't have the balls enough to say it. It's really that simple. Now, most people, the people worry, let's take a look at this. People worry about what other people think. I don't give a crap. I just proved it, didn't I? I mean, some women would get offended. Gary talk about my floaties like that. You know what? It's your butt. Get your freaking yoni right. Yeah, matter of fact, I need to send out the yoni link to all the ladies and all the men to understand what the yoni is, so they can get the circuit complete with their sister. That's part of the love vibration as well.
Being natural.
All natural. I always tell you, let them come out and play. What the hell? They're getting stifled, you know? Can they breathe?
Oh, Peter. You're such a character.
I had to go here.
I'll tell you.
I know Biggie's probably laughing behind the scenes saying, I can't believe Peter just went there. But see,
I'm sure
Crystal,
your producers
you are
a word or two say.
see, you're comfortable in your shell. You're comfortable in your heart, in your spirit. Anything I say to you is never with malice and a forethought. It's never meant with bad intent or ugly or whatever. I come with a true heart and a true spirit. If I can't be real with you, Crystal, we have a problem.
Well, there's one thing that I tell people. There's a lot of women, they love the poetry that I write and all the stuff. But some of them, and some men too, who get offended by my expressing any kind of goddess sexual energy, the sexual energy. By that I mean, let's say that there's some photograph. Like one time I put up a photograph of a fairy, and the fairy's really shapely and beautiful and everything, and she's wearing a really skimpy outfit, but you know, she's radiating all these amazing colors. Some artist made this, and I put it up on the internet, and this man just went bonkers. He's, oh, this is just too terrible, it's passionate, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, this is nature, this is fantasy, and fantasy is part of nature. That's who we are inside. And I just tell everyone, and even men who write me, you know, text messages, whatever, I just tell them, be yourself. If you say something that's crass to me, I usually laugh. They send me these wild pictures you wouldn't believe. I won't even mention it.
You told me about the
These
pictures.
incredible photos,
and
I don't talk about it. And so I just simply laugh. But what I find is I think it's cute. I think it's adorable. Why? Because people are expressing themselves naturally and innocently. You know, whether it offends somebody or not, it doesn't matter. They're being themselves.
Yep.
So they know they can come to me and express themselves, and I'm not going to get offended. I'll just say, well, you know, don't put that in there because Facebook doesn't like it, you know. But
Right.
I don't care. It doesn't bother me. If they crack jokes that are crude sometimes or whatever, I'll just say, the guys are just being guys. You know, they're fine. They're like little boys.
Yep.
Because little boys just express themselves naturally. They don't think about, oh, is my mother going to like it, or my neighbor, and this and that. You know, they're just innocent and spontaneous.
Yep.
And I think that's part of the love energy too, is to be yourself and just enjoy the existence, the way you are, the way people are, the relationship between men and women, and our differences, and how we love each other. There's no boundaries in my book. There's no boundaries.
Yeah.
Because you start putting up all these boundaries, and then you start stifling the love energy.
There you go.
And no wonder, you know.
You just hit the nail on the head. My God, you know how many people can't give a damn hug? I love giving hugs. Hugs, you know, it's key. It's paramount. I mean, I even give the guys hugs, and I'm gay. It's all good. I'm secure within myself, my feminine side, my masculine side. I understand chakras. I understand energy. I understand the heart. And it's all. So I always want to get to the heart of the matter, because you know what? When you intersperse with others, with the true you, that's sharing your heart. Now, if the true you is an asshole, I guess you're not sharing your heart.
What always amazes me is the way that you use language.
Yeah.
Blurt it out, Peter.
Well, this is not
that's cute.
TV station. This is CNN, CCN, not CNN, where the politically correct mainstream just regurgitates lies, garbage, bullshit commercials to keep you in the trance, so they can trance. That's what that idiot box is. I call it an idiot box for a reason. It actually changes the page and programs the brain. So I don't watch the idiot box. I like it. There's too much else to do to share the love.
So it's amazing, isn't it, how when the love vibration starts to spread, how easy things become. Things become easier and more supportive. I certainly hope that in the next few years we see major, major transformations in our lives. because we need it. We will not survive if we keep going the wrong way. Just not.
Well,
I just don't want to see people like that woman who walked up with me with colon cancer.
yeah.
Say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't try anything new. I trust my doctors because they were wrong, but I trust them anyway. I mean, that is just, I think it took me at least a day to get over what she said. You know, that I kept thinking about it later on, and I was thinking, why would she do this? Why would she revert back to the old ways? And you know, like you said, it's comfort, but maybe we will have enough energy all together to push people forward and out of that inertia.
Okay, that's a good point. Chris, that's a good point. And this is what I talk about, restructuring the ley lines across the planet. I mean, I actually have a picture in my mind. I can stand on the side of a mountain and I can bilocate across the planet to bring the vibration up. I mean, literally, bilocating energetically. You and I have talked about this before. I mean, I have the power. And I'm not being grandiose or egotistical about this. I found my heart. I found my way back home. I get things because I've opened up myself and I become a receiver to the love vibration. So whatever I put out, I become a receiver to it. And then that's a beautiful part about this. The more we put out, the more we get back. It's real simple. You're filling up your tank with love, folks. The more you fill up somebody else's tank, yours gets topped off too. That's
exactly the message.
You know?
But you know how many people think like you? Not many.
Well,
you would be surprised, even people in all kinds of humanitarian organizations don't quite yet get to the point that you're at. They're not there yet. They will be eventually, but not now. So you're lucky, Peter. You're a lucky man.
I am. I get to share my heart with anybody I want. I mean, you know, okay, because I deal with the medical modalities. You know, like when I get to go see somebody who went through the cancer scan, like the colonel down in Florida, I got to get true energetic shifting with this man as far as eye contact, verbal communication, just sharing a part of my heart, and he shared a part of his. He's already been through the game. And he just wanted to know that, you know, he got the reassurance through me showing him how to make his medicine. I went to his house for 4 hours. He didn't need me to show him to make his medicine. He already knew how to do it. He already saw the 16-minute video. You know what? He was just looking for a reassurance and support in the heart. And I got it. And, you know, that's some deep shit. I mean, you know what?
That's a great compliment. Yeah.
You know, when I finished up helping him out a little bit, I was walking away. We got eye contact from about 30 feet away. I was leaving. No words were spoken, but a lot of words were spoken just in the visual contact, because I could see in his eyes, in his heart. He was really, really happy that day because I came over. And I got to do something. I got to share the love in a different way that most people never get to do. And that's huge. It's if that doesn't wake up your heart or let you know that you're doing something special, I mean, it puts me in tears because I know I can make a difference, and I did make a difference that day.
That's really amazing. That's really beautiful. See, those experiences, who has those experiences?
Yeah, well, everybody's robbing themselves of their joy because they're not putting their heart out there. Imagine just finding somebody once a day. Just find somebody once a day. Give them a hug. Say something nice. Brighten up their day. Go out of your way to do something on purpose to get somebody's life. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. It's a beautiful experience to intersperse in the heart, and I do it every day. I make a point of it. I don't care if it's a dog, even if it's just patting the dog. And well, hell, the dog here, it took my slipper. I wouldn't let the dog in the house, so she took my slipper because she wanted to play with me. She wanted me to show her some love. I shut the door. I had to go to the bathroom when we were taking our break, and I left my slippers on the porch, walked in. And I come out and I said, okay, I'm mine. It's a slipper. What's up with all that? And then I see the little monkey. She's the cutest little dog. She's a pit bull, actually. And she's sitting there looking at me with these beautiful eyes and said, yeah, I got your slipper. Now come play with me. She wants love. Even
Yes,
the animals,
that's
even
exactly
the
right.
animals, even the animals get it.
Oh, the animals is it's amazing. You know, now that you bring up that point, there's something that's very interesting that's happened to me. I met a horse, literally a horse. I have a friend who owns this gorgeous horse. He's 18 hands tall, and he's part racehorse. This horse is amazing because he acts like a gentleman. He has a mare in the stall next to him, and the mare doesn't get fed that well by the owner. So what does the horse do? His name is Raymond. Raymond takes a bunch of alfalfa in his mouth, and then he throws it at the mare so she can have some food to eat.
Wow.
Would you believe that?
Beautiful.
He goes out of his way to feed the mare every day. And then he has these supplements. They're like little pellets, you know, little nuggets. And he takes a mouthful, and then he throws them at her, and she'll eat them. Because he's feeding her.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, how many people do you know who take, you know, a bunch of oranges or something and go to their neighbor's house and say, here, I brought you some oranges? How many people do that? Think about it. Or when you see a person who's hungry in the street. I know one man who does take that person out to lunch or get them something to eat. A lot of people, they just turn their nose up at them and walk away. The love vibration does come back to you, though. So this horse, he's just a horse, but he's so evolved that he feeds the mare next to him. And they're not, you know, related in any way. It's not like they were like brought up together or anything. They're just, you know, neighbors. Isn't that cute?
I'm going to lay out a challenge before we close. We got about 3-4 minutes here. I'm laying out a challenge to the planet. Folks, share the love. Find somebody. Do something. Anything. But find out. This is, I'm telling you, these energetic shifts, no matter how small you think it is, it's a multiplication factor because we're all doing it across the planet. Go out and find somebody you can make happy. It doesn't have to be anything big. It's simple. When I get done with this call today, I'm going to take a walk, and I'm going to go find somebody I can who can be my target. But for lack of a better term, it's the love target. I talk about the love bomb. I say, let's blow this son of a bitch up with the love bomb. And, hey, there's an actual band called The Tubes. Go look it up on YouTube. It's called The Love Bomb. It's an actual song. I post that, and I do musical tune-ups with the masses with my blog talk radio. I'm always today. I actually tuned everybody up. I sent the best of Three Dog Night. I mean, they created some beautiful songs back in the early '70s. I started listening. I got on my music vibe first thing this morning, and I sent out a musical memo to the world. This is what I do. This is how I get my vibration out to the world, and I send special love out to my feminine side and I'm going to send out the yoni too to get everybody on the yoni page. See, because that's a part of your circuit. If you don't complete your circuit, then you don't come into homeostasis. Your body doesn't become whole again because you're blocked. Your energies are blocked. So yeah, I'm going to post the yoni page over at CCN for the world to see, so they can. And for you guys, pay attention. Pay attention. See, as a Navy doc, Crystal. Like I say, the sex part of the things that's only 10%. But I know my anatomy and physiology really well. I know all anatomical locations. I know the erogenous zones, and you girls have taught me well.
Well, thank you, Peter.
Crystal, it has been a pleasure. I'm so glad that we talked a week and a half ago. I said, and I know I bumped you back, because I had some other pressing high-profile folks I want to get on. But I thank you so much because the love is the integral part of it. And you bring this beautiful love to the planet, and we're going to help grow this love across this planet. And we're in the right place, the right time. Nothing happens by accident. You and I don't know each other by accident. It was all divine intervention.
I agree. It's divine intervention. Definitely. Thank you for having me and hosting me and your producers. You're just an awesome group. Thank you.
Thank you. And folks, stay tuned for Tuesday. You don't want to really miss a real fast ride on the planet because I'm going back to the other side on how we get home from the plantation. We're going to have Brother Santos and Brother Kurt Callan back on Tuesday sharing some really nifty gold nuggets that most of the planet doesn't know and how to get off the slave plantation. So we're going to move in a whole new direction. The planet is aligning. The freedom train is leaving the station, and everybody has free will and choice to either get on their own set of tracks or stay on the dead end tracks. And we all have free will and a choice. So that's going to be one hell of a show Tuesday live with CCN. And come on back Tuesday because it's gonna be a great time. And Crystal, I'm gonna post this after this gets posted for consumption. Brother Biggie, he's doing all these other things. So within the 24 hours, I usually get the link, and I will repost this far and wide for the plant to see, so everybody can get the love vibration up.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
You've done some incredible heavy lifting. You've already started the shift. Welcome to the paradigm shift, and you've already created just by being on the show today. We just got the love vibration up today.
Well, I'm honored.
I'm talking about the love vibration. That didn't even come out right. Love vibration up. Anyway, so you got to have a Navy man's thoughts in your head. You ought to have been in the Navy. I'm still a man. It's all good. I don't want to forget that.
That's a good thing, Peter.
Yes. Well, on that note, Brother Biggie,
right, I love you, Peter.
I love you, Crystal. Hey, folks, we love you as well. I'm challenging everybody to bring up the love vibration. Go find somebody you can hug or give a big smile to. Do something on purpose to change somebody else's heart today along with your own, because the rewards are incredible. Nothing's better than your heart.
I just wanted to say that for anyone who wants to experience some of this, you're welcome to see my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Silk Productions, LIKESILK Productions. Yep. You can see a lot of different, I have over 400 short videos. You can listen to that. And I will be having more information on those videos too, the description side, to describe new things that are coming and developing, and including, I believe I might have my own TV channel also, which you would be welcome to appear at. Yes.
Am I going to have to go on that show naked with you or something, or what? Don't get me started. You
can appear flexing your muscles, your Navy muscles.
There you go. I got a couple of them. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's my machine. Got to take care of the machine. Everybody else should be looking the same way at 54 years old. You know.
Well, I think you're in fine shape for a 54-year-old man.
Well, that's part of loving yourself. Crystal, part of loving yourself is treating yourself right and feeding yourself right too.
Yes, because love is life itself.
Yeah.
Love is life energy itself.
Yeah. Well, let me see where Brother Biggie's at, so we can put this one ready to go. Okay, we got a wrap, and I'll catch you on the rebound, folks. I'll catch you all rest on the rebound. We are done. This is a wrap, and share the love vibration today. Anyways, thank you, Crystal. I'll catch you on the rebound.